Good evening, boys and girls. Our story is Let Me Sleep, Sheep by Meg McKinlay and illustrated or pictures by Leila Rudge. Amos was counting himself to sleep. He closed his eyes and smiled as fluffy white sheep trotted away across the grass. One, he said. Two. Suddenly, there was a loud thud, and then another. Not again, said the first sheep. I was in the middle of dinner. I was having my wool clipped, said the second. Just look at me. Counting us, are you, said the first sheep. Amos nodded. Yes, and I was up to 3, so if you could just... Just what? Said the first sheep. Excuse me, but how would you feel if you were dragged into a strange bedroom and told to parade yourself around? We're sheep, you know. We have names. Mine is Felix, not as you so rudely call me, One. These kids, said the second sheep, why can't you count pigs every once in a while? Pigs have nothing better to do with their time. He sighed. Oh, all right. Let's get on with it then. Where's the fence? Amos frowned. The fence? Felix nodded. If you want to count with us, you need a fence. It's in the rules. Rules? Said Amos. Wait, does it have to be a fence? He looked around him. Couldn't you just jump the cupboard or something? The cupboard? Felix shook his head. Impossible. Walter here has a bad knee, and Judith is afraid of heights. They'd never make it. Judith? Said Amos. Who's Judith? Felix stared back at him. Judith is number 7. She'll be along shortly, if you ever get this fence organized, that is. Maybe we should just forget it, Amos yawned. I'm feeling sleepy now anyways. Oh, no, you don't, said Felix. You've called on us now. Until you provide an officially approved fence, this is where we live. And you may not realize, added Walter, that sheep can get very smelly, especially when wet. I feel like having a shower right now, said Felix. Which way is the bathroom? Do you happen to have a hot tub? Asked Walter. I love those little bubbles. Ooh, said Felix. What an excellent idea. I hope your parents won't mind. Amos sighed. All right, I'll make you a fence. And he set to work. Too low, said Walter. It's jumping, not hopping. We are sheep, said Felix, not rabbits. Okay, said Amos, and he made it higher. Too high, said Walter. It's jumping, not leaping. We are sheep, said Felix, not kangaroos. Okay, said Amos, and he made it lower. Too wobbly, said Walter. One bump and that'll collapse, said Felix. Okay, said Amos, and he made it more stable. Too hard, said Walter. We need a gentle landing, said Felix. Okay, said Amos, and he made it softer. Not to mention, said Walter, too thirsty. Huh? Said Amos. I mean, said Walter, that we'll be needing drinks at the finish line. Finish line, said Amos. It's a fence, not a marathon. Excuse me, said Walter. Are you a sheep? Do you know how hot it gets under this wool? Especially, said Felix, when we haven't been properly clipped. Okay, said Amos, and he got some water. Too boring, said Walter. Needs more color, said Felix. Could you paint it, said Walter. Maybe you could play some music, said Felix. Make it more like a dance party, said Walter. I'm tired of jumping fences anyways. Now you guys are just being silly, said Amos, and he stepped back to admire his fence. Not bad, said Felix. You'll have to test it, of course. Me? Said Amos. We have to save our energy, said Walter, for the big jump. Okay, Amos sighed. He jumped and jumped and jumped until he was so tired he could hardly. Oh, said Felix. Look at that, said Walter. Kids today, said Felix. No stamina, said Walter. Oh, well, said Felix. Shall we call the others? Let's, said Walter. They're going to love this. This, said Felix, is the best fence ever. The end. That was pretty silly, wasn't it? Well, that's it for now. So good night, sleep tight, and happy dreams. Bye now.